Good morning, Guyana. Good morning, diaspora. We're happy that you folks are here with us this morning. Good to have all of you on the live. Did we get our time in right this morning? Do let us know. Welcome to each and every one of you. We're a tad bit early this morning because they have alerted us we're going to have blackout from about 8:30 right up until 5 o'clock this afternoon. And it seemed to have made no difference. They're telling us that because we've already had some blackout, you see. So it may not have made much of a difference because, as I said, it's already blackout at our end. Thank you so much. Got a lovely cup of coffee on this morning. Godfrey Montaigne. We're trying to get ahead of the blackout, folks. Good to have all of you on the program this morning. Great to have you guys here with us. It's a little slower this hour. Good to see you folks. Godfrey, Angela, Ben, Godfrey. Great to have all of you on the live this morning. Great to have all of you here with us. As I said, we're a tad bit early because the authorities said from around 8:30 this morning, we're going to have blackout. And we didn't want to have to cheat you guys too much. We can cheat you all every now and again, a little bit. But we didn't want to treat and cheat you guys too much this morning. Good to have all of you on the live. We're a little early. You know, they say, better early than late, no? Isn't that what the folks tell us? Better early than late. So again, folks, just privileged to be here with you folks another day. Shanetta, Pinky Kerr, Shanetta David Edwards, Lyndon Gill, Godfrey and Bernadette. Blackout, folks. Remember, we've been asking for some help to come off the grid. Hasn't been working out for us as yet. But happy to have you folks here with us. How did you guys start the morning? Jermaine, Renella, Joylyn, Brenda. How did you guys start the morning? You know, it's so important to start the day well. It's so important to start the day right. You know? Irrespective, you might got a lot of things happening around you, but you start the day on a high note. For some people, the high note is devotion. And I admit people do devotions in their own way. Some people might read the scripture, but listen to some good music, some gospel music. You know? You're just quiet, in touch with your thoughts. But it's important. Season's greetings, Sparkle City. Looking forward to bringing Sparkle City to GT City. Good morning, Sparkle City. So good to be with you guys this morning. Sparkle City, we were telling our viewership, GPL has told us we're going to have blackout from about 8:30 this morning, right on to 5 o'clock. The Cooperative Oil Producing Republic. Sabbath Rizal, good to have you on this morning. Happy to have all of you. Started the day with some good folks. Just got a cup of hot coffee. I was hoping it wasn't too hot. Y'all catch me burning myself. Live. See me getting you now. Folks, how are you doing? How are you folks doing? So we're preparing, guys. We're preparing. They're telling us that power ship, they're trying to attach the power ship to the Demari interconnected blah, blah, blah. They're trying to get it attached. So it came days ago, racking up a whole set of money. Park up there in the Demar River. You see? But now they're telling us, now. Now they're getting around to fixing some of it. Only now. So we got power ship, but the power nut thing. the power not fully there. You know how? The power not fully there, powering. You know how? Them boys come back 2 power ships later, and they're gonna take you off the grid whole day. They're gonna take you off the grid whole day. Whole day. To put on the second one. Y'all know the whole story. Whole day. So, we take first jump. Savage Rizal said the power ship not powering. It's true. It's like the government not governing. Same thing, same difference. And the morning we choose to come early, the graphics at our end, not graphics in. Not graphics in. So there's where you see this long stretch here, where those cars are coming down. Right up that stretch, heads up to a dam that runs behind industrial site, runs behind John Finance Limited, runs behind Roxanne Burnham, and they're running some power cables up here coming into South, and you see what I'm telling you here? And that's where they're bringing it, into South Rheinveld. And there's a substation. They hope to be part, the ship not, folks. Somebody take this mic. Some of y'all gotta help me co-host 1 or 2 times, you know. Some of you gotta help me co-host 1 or 2 times. You know what I'm saying? I don't talk. So that's why we're early. Right? That's why we're early. And in the absence of our graphics, we just gotta go straight. Folks, I hope that you guys are good. That Friday has started well. All right? Friday started well. It's gonna be a light day. It's gonna be a light day. All things being equal. All right? Ceteris paribus. So that's how Rheinveld bringing this thing through too. And they're saying this, it's almost the whole of Georgetown gonna be without power today. I think that's a notice we saw. It's almost the whole. We know the whole thing. So we came a bit early. We came a bit early. Pull us mine is there and y'all to make sure that we don't leave you all unattended. You know how. So there's where they're bringing this cable, carrying it through. So those of you now joining us, you're now catching on. Good morning again. The authorities told us that Georgetown, basically, they're going to have blackout most of the day from about 8:30 right up until whenever them boys ready, man. Yep. So here, these are some of the areas. 7 is at the whole of Georgia. North Tremble, South Tremble, Lamaha Park, Lamaha Springs, Shirley Field, Guy Hawk Gardens, Tugville, Festival City, Guy Hawk Park, Alexander Village, right? Gafour's Road, Macdum, Agricola to Nandi Park. That's not the whole region 4. In that the whole region 4, from 8:30 to 1700 hours. 8:30 to 1700 hours. Blackout. But we're happy that you wonderful folks are here with us this morning. Another beautiful day. We're dotting the I's at our end, crossing our T's, and for the most part, just happy that we got some wonderful folks like you guys here with us today. Let's try to get ahead of it while we have the opportunity. And folks, I did say, they told us we're going to have blackout for this period, and we've already had blackout for the morning already. So that was a test run. It's like they're telling us, we're making joke. Watch this. We're not making joke. Watch this. Back. Blackout till we skin. So good morning, folks. And our brother Ganesh Mahi Paul on his feet in the National Assembly on this motion, this bill to amend the land acquisition for public use. They're amending this legislation. He said, not so fast. We appreciate land acquisition is a natural part of governance. But it's a way you can do it that's a win-win for the citizenship. Most important stakeholder is citizenship, and a win for the government. There's a way in which you can do it. That's one of the things Ganesh said, National Assembly. Take a look, take a listen. Let's begin this call. Verse 15, or so. Take a look.
Member of Parliament Ganesh Mahi Paul has disapproved of the presentation by Attorney General Anil Nandlal on the bill touted to dispossess Guyanese, particularly those of African descent, of their lands. In the National Assembly today, Wednesday, Nandlal said that there was a meeting with some members of the opposition. He concluded that the meeting ended amicably. Mahi Paul said that there is a huge gap in Nandlal's presentation.
And our position from then was and still is for this bill to be sent to a special select committee.
He said that at the beginning of the meeting on Tuesday, that position is reiterated.
And it was dismissed in totality. On the basis of dismissing that request, which we believe, sir, would have served a greater purpose in terms of addressing the act.
The act is entitled the Acquisition of Land for Public Purposes. This act was amended in 1972, 1975, 1990, and 2001.
We want an act that can address what really is happening in Guyana currently. And sir, we believe strongly that this bill is a reactionary bill that has suddenly attracted government's attention because of what is unfolding with the new Demerara River Bridge.
He suggested that on this occasion, the bill is reactionary.
And we believe that if the bill is sent to a special select committee, and we are able to address the act in its entirety, we will be able to have a more modernized bill to speak to Guyana currently.
One section of the bill has the clause not exceeding 80%.
And when we saw the words shall not exceed 80%, that allows for it to be 70%, 60%, 10%, or even 5%. And in so doing, sir, it was recommended by Honorable Roysdale Ford, let it be 80%.
He said that the Special Select Committee would have determined the adequate compensation. The tribunals applied by many countries worldwide would have operated in the best interest of the citizens.
I still feel strongly that if we are to address the Acquisition of Lands for Public Purposes Act and make it more modern for today's society, we can consider a tribunal having examined all of these legislations that are currently in place.
Mahi Paul said that the present act remains inadequate to address the complexities of land acquisition.
As it stands, the act is insufficient to provide this level of confidence, particularly when it comes to compensating citizens for their land.
He described what is being presented to the House as piecemeal. A thorough revamp is necessary, he said.
Yep, that's how we started, folks. There's a lot of underhand business, you know. A lot of underhand business. And we try to kind of stave off some of the excesses of this legislation, thinking you could meet with them and hammer out. Compulsory acquisition is a natural part of the law. If you want development, but as I said, as we said, there's a way you could do it that benefits all sides. You get into a meeting with these jacobats and trench crappos, they agree to one thing, and then they come out on the other side. There's some real chameleon characters, you know. So when I hear Orphan Ali addressing people as characters, you gotta look in house. This dog whistling these characters. He gotta look in house. Listen to Annette Ferguson on the same bill, on the same motion, raising some other issues quite important as well. This is the Land Acquisition for Public Purposes Amendments Bill. A lot of wickedness here. Take a listen to what Annette says.
What they're against, Mr. Speaker, is the government approach. It's the government approach, the bullyism that was used to force people off their lands. Yes, Mr. Speaker, we heard about eminent domain. We heard about, the title. Many of their lands are government owned, and it's only owned by a private person once they have title, lease, or transport. But Mr. Speaker, we on this side of the House knew exactly what was happening to the residents of Peters Hall, because they reached out to us, Mr. Speaker, and they said to us, look, we don't intend, we have no difficulty in moving, but what the government would have done, moved in on them and said to them that because of the construction of this bridge, they have to move. Mr. Speaker, one resident, Mr. Speaker, that resident hadn't a copy of his transport. And when I engaged that resident, I was able to acquire a copy of his transport. Mr. Speaker, on the 27th of this month, on the 27th of last month, I visited with that resident. and I heard his cry. But I believe, Mr. Speaker, if the agencies, whether the Ministry of Human Services, which should be a ministry with love and compassion, they should have been working closely with the ministries of public infrastructure and also the housing and water ministry. Because, Mr. Speaker, you would recall that, as Honorable Member Ganesh Mahipal rightfully put, land is sentimental. Land has value, Mr. Speaker. But then again, when persons are attached to their lands, I believe if the government has to acquire these lands, things could have been done in a more mature way. We know that you have to relocate. We know that the children will be disturbed. That very resident said to me, they have been living on that land since 1975. And in the 49th year, I am now forced to give up my land. And, Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, we have so many social workers in this country, but the social workers were not able to work with the families so that at least their minds are prepared when it comes to them having to relocate. So, Mr. Speaker, I trust that with this new amendment, Mr. Speaker, I am hoping that the government will see the wisdom in what played out in Peters Hall, Mr. Speaker, and in future, for future development, we will not see a repeat of what occurred in Peters Hall and in Caneview. The other issue in the initial amendments, Mr. Speaker, had to do with adequate compensation. The first, just before that meeting yesterday, that was another concern to me, because how I read the bill, Mr. Speaker, the amendment, is that the Minister of Legal Affairs will determine what is adequate compensation.
Yeah, you know, one of the issues that was also raised by MP Annette Ferguson was the fact that so many people are unclear, and that's the government's role, through their massive PR apparatus that they only use for propaganda, to actually inform the citizens about these coming changes. Inform. That's why you got DPI4 and NCN and all of the radio stations, to inform our populace what's happening. But this is the government, they major on bringing hardships to the Guyanese. That's why since October 10th, you hear cash grant coming, it's coming. We have a learning, but we ain't getting to the knowledge of the truth. And the AG told us, if you joined the program last night, we told you even more hardship coming down the line. When these things happen, the good book says, it's not the end, it's the beginning of sorrows. When these bills pass, it's not the end, it's now the militancy, the vigilance. Because as you know, the government used their one-seat majority and the squatter, Asha Kasud, to pass the legislation. And here what the Attorney General told us coming down the line. Beginning of sorrows. A lot of people.
Importantly, we have, Mr. Speaker, to end blackout. To end blackout, we have to, within the next year, acquire over 200 pieces of private properties across this country. To complete the road work scheduled for the next year, we have to acquire a lot of pieces of property. And the truth is that the people of Guyana are anxious for development. Anxious for development. And they will choose. Do we want blackout to end? Do we want blackout to end? Or we want blackout to continue while one or two persons detain a process over adequacy of compensation?
Yep. How dare them? You know, you got to give up a property you've had in your family for generations. You got to give it up because you want a little house got lights. Right? You want the house got lights. Well, we had to give up the second half of our broadcast because, as we told you folks, we came on a bit early this morning because GPL says we're going to have 8 hours of blackout because they got to connect this ship here. You see it here in the beautiful Lemar River. You know, when the folks on the island come and see river, they say, this is river, this is ocean. Is America we see across there? This is river. The beautiful Lemar River. They bring the old ship and park it up here. That Borkity Chudiwa, easy. This is the Lemar River you're looking at. Such a beautiful shot. Thanks to the drone you all help us purchase. Thanks to the drone, you all know the wind speed in the Demra River. You're going to get a proper thing to put out there, you know. You got a little flimsy drone. That breeze would pitch it out the sky, plop in the river. But we were able to procure a decent thing that gives us this kind of imagery. And watch that shot there. That's Georgetown in the foreground, in the background rather. Remember your communication studies, Duncan. In the background, yes. Foreground is with the ship there. Lord have his mercies. So 8 hours of blackout coming because they got to get the power from this ship on land now. They got to get the power from this ship. This ship. You don't see it, Duncan. They got to get it on land now. You see? They got to get it on land. So 8 hours blackout. It's my problem that they can't do that efficiently. The ship here, but they're on. Imagine you could bring a ship from halfway around the world, Kazakhstan, but you can't put down a pole strong enough to run the power. They got about 15 poles to put down. But 2 months it's taking us. 8 hours of blackout. You all think this country easy? You all think this country easy? Well, it is not. Let me disabuse y'all. It is not. Watching the right. Watching the right. Good morning, folks. Happy to have all of you with us. Season's greetings. You know, I'm so tempted. Naomi said I had an Ali moment. I'm so tempted to get into fifth gear. But it's morning. Take a little easy. It's morning. Couple things. You know, I heard big head to something yesterday. You know, they're discussing this whole issue of the Waraos. These Venezuelan migrants. And this fella had the gall and the temerity to be saying, oh, if it was Granger. Folks, we got 8:16 and our end of blackout is promised at 8:30. Any moment now. Once we have the blackout, we on for another 5 or 10 minute stops, and then we gotta make trails. If Granger was in State House, the people wouldn't get no help. I mean, what kind of madness is this? We were giving our children breakfast, bicycle, boats, bus. Our treatment of our neighbors have always been par excellence, even with the contentious issues of border controversies. But to hear this fella spout this nonsense, if it was Granger at State House, Barrows wouldn't have gotten help. And these people want to say, oh, it's the other people over, so they're the divisive ones. They're the troublemakers. But we get into somebody's head and mind. You could talk about so many different things. Well, his latest fascination is Terence Campbell. You come up with some conjecture, something in your mind. If Granger was in state, how Granger meeting this now? You know, if Granger didn't move out of the way, he never had a chance to say that. You know what he's talking about? He's talking about code issue, petition, election petition. He'd have been out there protesting every day. If Granger was at State House, what madness is this? It's nonsense. But the latest fascination is Terence Campbell. Folks, we did a transcript. Terence Campbell in this one press conference was mentioned more than 50 times. Terence Campbell, Terence Campbell, Terence Campbell. The only person name I want to call so much times is my wife's name. The only person name I want to call so much times. Terence. Only person I want to call so many times is that girl from Bobby's that changed my life. That Bobby's girl that changed my life. The only person name I want to call Terence. Oh no, Terrence's wife must be vexed. Dr. What's her name? Terence. Must in his sleep right now. Terence. Big smiley face. Terence. This is madness. Terence wrong he. You know, sometimes I feel Jack just want friends, you know. You know, there's like a reverse kind of. It's like he wish he had somebody mature to talk to. To bunk some of these half-baked ideas on. If I want to do that, I talk to my wife. So, Bibbs, wait with this big head one here. You want friends? Terence.
I hope that the ERC would quickly investigate this matter and we'd have a formal report coming out of the ERC. I maintain my position that what Terence Campbell wrote and what was circulated by Nigel Hughes and others was a racist statement. Terence Campbell said, I'm genetically predisposed to duplicity or to lying. Terence Campbell does not know my parents. He couldn't be commenting on my father or my mother. My genes come from my parents and from my ancestry. So it's a dog whistle. And in fact, it's more overt than that. If you don't know my parents, you could only be commenting on my ancestry, which is like Indo-Guyanese ancestry. And I maintain that it is a racist statement. He said, I'm predisposed to act in a certain way because of my ancestry. He could have easily said Jack Day was duplicitous. Just imagine if you say that, if I had said that about a person of African descent. By now, everyone would have been calling on me to apologize. Every single person would have been calling. But people like Terence Campbell, they live in this make-believe world for their whole lives. They think they're special.
Yep. Over 50 times. I had to endure that for y'all. You all see how much y'all are loved? You all see how much y'all are loved? After God, you know, is my wife, the children, the church, the 2 children and the bank. My family, and then is y'all. you see how much y'all are loved. You see how much y'all are loved. Terrence. Your dreams must be jumping up. Terrence, why you do this, man? The man eat piece of spicy chicken, can't get over Terrence. That's what chicken do to you. He's a piece of chicken. He's seen Terrence in his dreams. He's a piece of, eat another piece and calm yourself, man. This is the stupidest argument ever. I'll tell you why. Here's the stupidest argument ever. You all remember when we were at primary school? For some of you, it may have been in high school. Right? Something somebody would say, and the word mother would be included. And then the man would go, all right, look, don't think about me, mother, bye. Don't think about me, mother. You know me, mother. That was like one of the stupidest arguments I ever find in my life. People get into all kind of confrontation. All kinds. You know things I got told in my lifetime? You know what it stopped when? I used to praying to God. I don't just talk, I'll touch my beg you. In my mind, I got a smile on my face. Like I pack in Shopadi. I said, oh God, stop talking to man. Do something. Oh, give me an excuse. Give me an excuse. Terence Campbell allegedly said he's genetically predisposed to kleptocracy or lairdism, something like that. Something like that. He gone out. Don't think about me, mother, boy. You know me parents. You know me great-grandparents. Huh? Where you know them from? Don't think about me children. And that's a man really want attention. I see some folks saying, where's the lie? Where's the lie? Don't think about me parents. I saw the argument over and over and over. And while people get distracted with, I doesn't read my books. Jesus Lord, let me get to this place here. Right? I saw colleagues, big argument. You know me, mother. Me, Bono, Luck and Chuck. You know me. That's this fellow here. You detaining the whole nation because you feel in your work mind, Terence tell you what your parents and your grandparents and their four parents, he cousin who's living by the back alley by the side fence, because he said, allegedly, you're genetically predisposed to TFism. It's madness. And we got to sit down and enjoy. Folks, it's unfair. It is unfair. It is unfair. This country didn't even hear what Terence Campbell said. He amplified it, if it is true. He amplified it. And for 45 minutes in that press conference, 45 minutes, you know how many national issues they could lay out before the Guyanese people in 45 minutes? Huh? You know how many issues? You could lay up 4 to 5 minutes on Terence. Oh, Terence tall. Oh, he's slim. Oh, he's a businessman. Oh, he this. Oh, he went to this school. He went Queens. Oh, Terence. Oh, Terence. Oh, he's a doctor. Oh, he got a PhD. Oh, Terence. Jesus of mercy. I'm acquainted with Terence Campbell, but like, I had enough Terence now. Like, me even want to see the real Terence. When I see now, I can go across the road. I have met my Terence capacity. Thank you, John. Thank you. You succeeded. Like, I'm in my Terence capacity now. When I see Terence, I said, Chief, I had enough. I can bow there. I had enough. Jesus of mercy. Jesus. Terence. He ringtone, must see Terence. He ringtone, must see Terence. Folks, let me go on. I've never been satisfied with a verdict like in this turtle fella. Right? The day before Turtle killed this teenager, this high schooler, he attacked a man. They said he has some challenges. Turtle got some challenges. Lester Lawrence LaFleur, known as Turtle, he got some challenges apparently. Anytime now is blackout time. We're right on 8:30. Anytime now. So once you see the lights dip, you know we're on the clock from there. Between 5 and 10 minutes after the point, they said Lester Lawrence LaFleur, known as Turtle, attacked a man on a dam. He approached the fella asking him if he got chicken. The man apparently said the chicken finished. He stabbed the man. The man ran for his life, scaled the fence and sought refuge in a house. That is what saved his life. They said Lester has some mental challenges. And at the time when he killed 15-year-old Carlos Liangwa, he was receiving psychiatric help. He was receiving psychiatric attention in Babis. What led to this altercation is unknown. But Turtle, Lester Lawrence LaFleur, stabbed this young man several times about his body. More than 10 times. It's either he threw the young man overboard or the young man trying to escape this brutal attack ended up in a trench. Turtle got into that trench and sat down on that 15-year-old. Sat on him in a trench until he was motionless. I couldn't watch the video for long. I saw public spirited citizens take some big word and lashing Lester Lawrence, lashing him. And all the things in him, legion. The man sat on that young man. The court gave him 21 years. My only regret is it wasn't higher. They pointed out, since he's been in police custody, he hasn't had any episodes. I appreciate mental health is real. And we got to do more for people who suffer mental health. We got to do more for them. We can't have people who can be prone to violence just walking about the streets like that. 21 years. And to me, that's not enough for young life. Carlos Liangwa, Carlos didn't get a chance to turn 21. Viciously, could you imagine what's happening in the mind of a 15-year-old who's being brutalized like that? Brutalized like that. Thoughts and prayers with that family. Thoughts and prayers with them. Tushao Ridley Joseph, the gentleman who was apprehended in his gruesome murder, they said is to be charged after the post-mortem examination. He's to be charged. And we're following that. This is Noah Beaton, 24 years old. And he alleges to have been sexually assaulted by Tushao Ridley Joseph while he was a teacher in his early days. You know, the Tushao was found stabbed over 19 times by Noah Beaton, who was said to have confessed. Just in case you may have missed this story earlier. Take a look.
The Guyana Police Force is reporting that the suspect in the stabbing death of Ridley Joseph, the 37-year-old Tushao from Region 7. The suspect has been identified as Noah Beaton, a 24-year-old from Penn Street working West Georgetown. He surrendered to the police at Brickdown Police Station. He was told of the murder allegation by investigators and was promptly arrested and placed in police custody. Thereafter, detectives confronted the suspect with the evidence that they had. Under caution, he admitted that he committed the gruesome act on the victim, who was known to him, and he had abused him sexually sometime in the past. The suspect remains in custody as the probe continues. The body of Ridley Joseph, the Tushao of Tasserine Village, was found in a room in the Signature Inn Hotel in Queenstown, Georgetown, with 19 stab wounds on Monday.
Yeah, so again, folks, this suspect, Noah Beaton, he is scheduled to be charged after the post-mortem examination, and let justice have its way. Let justice have its way. The Piara Bridge in Latem, Region 9, finally completed. We were in Latem early this year. I think it was in January, was it? Of this year. Yeah. And the folks told us they were morbidly afraid the rainy seasons were going to come and this bridge was now going to be completed. It should have been completed since the previous year. And it was abandoned, the project. When we got on the site there, nothing was happening. It was in January. The rainy seasons came and went, May, June. The rest is history. The bridge now finished. Now finished. Well, folks, it's now the real work begins. Because it's now, you know, if the bridge is built good, when the traffic starts traversing that area there. Right? You know, these projects here got a 2 weeks, 3 weeks lifespan. A 2-3 weeks lifespan on them. These projects. And this one costs the people of this country 410. I gotta put on the glasses. $410 million. Jagdu himself yesterday was confessing about the kind of contractors that they hired. But only promising to do something, but he ain't really doing nothing. How are you gonna do something if your government gonna get kickbacks from these contracts? How are you gonna rebuke the people you're in bed with? How? Huh? You know what you can do? Transfer malice. Terrence. He even called them. I hear he talk about the Para project yesterday. Those are the names he should be calling the contractor, the company. The contractor name. No, it's Terrence. Terrence and make all them like posts for long in South. Jack just spoke about that issue yesterday. I hear he called the contractor name once. Over 50 times. Terrence. Terrence. All the time. Young folks. Folks. You all think it's one thing wrong in this country? And before the lights go. before the lights go, folks. Before the lights go. The gentleman who transitioned at the Alberton police station was in custody. Taxi driver, I think it was. When he died, postmortem examination says he died as a result of a massive heart attack. Massive heart attack. Just wanted to give you guys that bit of update there. That's what they're telling us. It was a massive heart attack. Yep. And that was the same day we learned the 2 Shaw lost his life. Died at the Alberton police station. So quite a few things happening, folks. And we just wanted to bring a couple of them to you before we run off and leave you. We just on that time of this scheduled blackout. Just in that time, listen to Mr. Jagdio. Listen to Mr. Jagdio in the on that issue with the fallen lamppost in South. Let me see if you call it contracted in. I ain't want to lie on it. I ain't want to lie on it. Let me see if you call it contracted in.
We are connecting and expanding the Arby Barker Road, and we want the community to benefit from all these changes. So then all of these electricity poles collapsed and left South Rumfeld and the other surrounding areas in darkness. Now, this could happen, but we were very concerned about as an accident. Accidents do happen. But I started digging into this a bit more, and this was not an ordinary accident. What that discomforted this community in such a major way. So we looked at what happened, and Public Works and GPL have to give credible explanations, because I'm going to be on their case until we get to the bottom of this. Because for one, these poles that were moved there, from the wooden poles to the concrete poles now, they were moved out of the pathway of the road to expand the road. So I'm told now that they were not put there, they were not laid according to specifications. They were not put down according to specifications. So Public Works need to say who designed this, who was responsible for what was the contractor paid for, whether it is a design fault or the contractor did not comply with the design, and who supervised this, which engineer supervised this and allowed this to happen. And it's time that we start terminating people who are not doing their work, who've been paid by the government to oversee work that should have been done properly. Because just imagine, if that didn't happen there, we would have never known that these poles were not placed according to specs, because someone, either the contractor didn't do their work properly, and if the contractor didn't do the work properly, they had to do this with the complicity of the person who's supervising the work. And there should be consequences. People have to be blacklisted and fired for this sort of thing. Or it's not going to change, because we can't see this as politicians all the time. You pay people to do work properly and to supervise the work, the staff. And someone needs to give credible answers. So either Public Works or GPL on what took place. And then why would you allow the road contractor to dig out the entire stretch of drain that would discomfort people getting into their yards? Why couldn't they just do it by 2 blocks at a time and then build the concrete drains? This is all ridiculous. So it happens routinely. I see it everywhere. We have a bunch of engineers who just go down, walk around the road, and they discomfort people all the time. when they could work differently. And so it's something that bothers me personally, and I'm going to watch this because I think we're reaching a stage now where people have to face consequences, including staff of the government who are responsible for designing things or supervising things, because they're getting a good salary now. In the past, it wasn't like the engineers in the state sector earning a small sum of money. Now, some of them are earning huge salaries, and they don't pay enough regard to these issues. And we now need to hold people responsible.
Yep. Welcome back, folks. Manufactured raid. He ain't calling no names. He ain't calling no names. But on the other side of that, Terrence. He said this wasn't an ordinary incident. 14 lampposts fell down. 14 Ernest Elliott fall down. You hear the manufacturer? GPL got to tell me something. Days later, he claimed he don't know. But he can't call Keshnan the Lal name. His Attorney General's brother who had GPL. And he can't call Bishop One Ejil name, the minister. His Minister of Public Works fashions himself as a bishop. But he's not spiritually perceptive. To see what was going to happen is he can't call his name. And in that whole episode, he didn't call the contractor name neither. Or was it neither? But oh, Terrence. Oh, Terrence. Oh, Terrence. Terrence. Terrence? Terrence? Terrence. Folks, have a great day. Have a good day. Share the broadcast if you found any value in it. Share it even if you want cussweed. Smash that emoji button before you go. Over 800 of you watching us this morning. Some names are more equal than others. Angela Jordan. Angela wore your shirt yesterday, girl. It take me real nice. You know? Angela is a woman who's woman. Angela see me one time. Don't give a measurement. Bab, bab, bab. Perfect. That shirt, sit down. Like they sew it on me. Sit down. Thank you, Angela. It fit real nice. And yes, it was hot in the blackout. And it's not a thick fabric. So the little breeze, oh, it catches real nice. Thank you. Thanks for joining us, folks. Until the next broadcast. And we want to wish Gordon Mosley well. He's going on to other ventures. He says he wants to spend some time on New Source and some other things that he's been working on. He's leaving 94.1, leaving Jumpstart, I think at the end of the month. And we want to wish Gordon well. You know, he's one of the respectable journalists, senior veteran journalists. You might like the word veteran. Senior journalists we have in this country who understands the art and craft. You know, and on whose shoulder we stand at this end. We respect him as a journalist in this country. We want to wish him well, whatever his pursuits, whatever comes next. Whatever comes next for him, we want to wish him well. You know, wish him well. When we're driving into the office, we listen to the radio too, and more than often we listen to Gordon. You know, so we want to wish him well. That being said, folks, that's our time at this end. That's our program. Terrence. Good morning, Terrence. Or should I say, good morning to all, except, because at this point, stay safe, folks. That's our time.